Hi everyone, welcome to Shimmer Girl Talks. Today's topic, I'm sure it is a phrase that you have all seen before, and I've seen it at least a couple of times in the past 2 to 3 weeks time, and that is, but your mama was a single mother. This seems to be a shaming tactic that I have seen from single mothers, typically never married mothers, when it comes to men stating, I don't want a single mother. And those men are within their right to feel that way. But I want some of you ladies to understand that, you know, because so many Black women have not been challenged about this whole baby mama culture, a lot of men, particularly the ones who grew up under the teachings or whatever of a single mother, a lot of them don't want to be reminded of their struggle childhood. A lot of them do not want to be reminded of how they may have, felt, being raised by a single, overworked, underloved mother. And a lot of that comes with challenges that a lot of men don't readily talk about. And I'm going to use, I think his name is Lil Scrappy, and I plan to share the video. Now, this happened months ago. I'm just now talking about it. I just decided to use this example in this particular video. And Lil Scrappy, I think I was almost in tears for this young man, even though he's almost 40, but compared to me, he's, a young man because I'm old enough to be his big sister. And he was crying to his mother, Mama Dee, about what he grew up seeing as a young man, things that children should not see. And I guess he was raised in a trap house. His mother was a madam at one point, and God only knows what he saw growing up. So he's crying, and his mother is just sitting there unapologetic, not accountable. And then his wife, I think her name is Bambi, she's sitting on the other side of him, and she's, stoic and unmoving from what I remember as well, because I haven't seen this video in months. And so many Black women, think that they are the next thing to the second coming. And so this is why a lot of you are having a hard time hearing experiences from men in particular about the types of households that they might have grown up in. So this man is trying to let his mother know about the pain in which he grew up. And I'm sure a lot of women would have been like, but you a grown man now, you need to let that go and all of this stuff. And then a lot of you wonder why so many men, okay, let me just say this, so many men are deciding to get their passports and perhaps go overseas or to another community to perhaps get the peace in his home that he did not get growing up as a young man. A lot of y'all don't think about that. And another thing, maybe he does not want to repeat the same cycle that his mother did, and especially take on another man's children, because the children are always going to come first in situations like that, and the baby daddy or baby daddies are going to come before him. Not to mention, he may not have any type of authority in that home with the single mother and her kids, because those are her kids. And you already know what's going to come at eventually, which is, you ain't my daddy. My real daddy will let me blah, blah, blah. So that's going to be a problem right there. That's some stuff that a lot of people don't seem to talk about. And I've mentioned this on this channel before. I grew up in a single mother run home. And I've been very candid. My mother had me out of wedlock. Then she met my stepfather and she married him when I was 1 year old. And then she eventually divorced him when I was 7. So, but I remember, and I've shared this before, I was 14 years old. I could tell you the street that I was on, Monterey Street in Detroit. And I was walking down the sidewalk. I was 14, and I said, I will not be a single mother. True story. And so, and I've shared, little tidbits of my story, from that on, and why I don't have children, even though I have a child. She died as a baby. I've already shared that. Another thing that I hear shaming tactic is how these men have black mothers but hate black women. But do they really hate us? Do they really? Now, obviously, you do have some black men who have a hatred for black women. Not denying that, but they are the minority. The minority. They're not the majority. And if you were to go on some black men's, in their spaces or whatever, even in real life, most black men prefer black women. Y'all be listening to these narratives from these bitter women who aren't telling the full story, and they will have you thinking that all black men just hate black women, and that's not the truth. If black men had an actual choice, they prefer a black woman. And some of y'all could correct me if I'm wrong, but what they don't want is the chaos and the confusion that many in our community have. And in that chaos and confusion, there are children from other relationships. And men today are opening their eyes. They're seeing the blatant disrespect for men who have stepped up to the plate. And they're deciding, I don't have to deal with this, and I'm not going to deal with this. But I just recently saw this woman she was so smug. Yeah, you men, you don't have the money. That's why you don't want to spend it on me and my 4 children, but I don't know how many men. It's not that they don't have money. Or maybe, I don't know. I don't know who these men are that she was talking about. They just don't want to deal with you. And they don't want to deal with your offspring. So that was my topic for today. Sorry for showing my comb. Please like, subscribe, and tell me what you think about the shaming tactic of, but your mother was a single mother, as if that negates his feelings. It doesn't negate his feelings. If anything, he has more of an insight of what that brings. And a lot of times it brings heartache, and it brings chaos, and it brings confusion. And no one has to deal with that. Create your own families wherever you're able to, fellas. And I will talk to you later. Bye.